There was one day, I'm not sure where it was, but I woke up and I was like, I recognize myself again. It feels peaceful. It feels, in a lot of ways, like the old me was coming back. Like the old me was waking up again. It's a transformation out of the dark, back into the light.
Any group of people who have something in common can raise a voice as a group. I tell you honestly, if I wouldn't have my friends around me, I wouldn't know how I would go through this.
I never really doubted that we could do it. I was just trying always every day at work, and then once or twice a year strategically to step back and think about, are we getting there and how are we going to do it? But I never really doubted that we could rebuild it in the way that I imagined we should.
The unity that we saw in our country in the days after 9/11, it's compelling, and it's something that we have to think about. How can we capture the resiliency of the human spirit, and how can we help people move forward?
She not only smiled, she always made a joke and smile and make people smile. And it's like a Mona Lisa smile for me. I always see it. A few times I even on the street caught myself seeing a face or a hairstyle similar, and something made me even turn and see like Marina, especially in the beginning. She was that kind of a person who would extend her arm and give the shoulder. And people who knew her and who were around her felt it. And that's why she was cherished by so many people. And that's what makes me proud that I had a great person. So something I did right.
Me and my brother, sports was it. We probably spent every waking moment we could outside. We played everything there was under the sun. Stickball, wiffle ball, frisbee football, roller hockey. It was definitely the one thing we always talked about, always did together. The ability to go out and play sports was my distraction. It was something I could focus on that kept my mind off of the bad things. I don't know how to describe it except a really heavy feeling in your chest and your stomach. It's almost as if your mind is blank and it's just this silence in your head. My only hope was he went to work late, which never happened. He was always early. But, you know, as the day started going on, you realized it is what it is.
I went to a early morning meeting in Midtown, and that's where I was when the first plane hit. The first slide had just got put up, and someone came and handed the CEO a little slip. And I can't remember the exact words, but he effectively said something like, there's been an incident at the World Trade Centers involving a plane. I was stunned. I think it's because I knew that was our headquarters, so I knew there were people there. Our offices were 93rd floor. I was the most senior investment person who survived. There were only 4 of us who survived. We lost 35 people. There's not really a day that goes by where I don't think about one of these people.
Hey Mom, it's Brad. Just wanted to call and let you know, I'm sure that you heard, or maybe you haven't heard, that a plane crashed into World Trade Center 1. We're fine, we're in World Trade Center 2. I'm obviously alive and well over here, but obviously a pretty scary experience. I saw a guy fall out of probably the 91st story, all the way down. So, you're welcome to give a call here. I think we'll be here all day. I'm not sure if the firm's going to shut down for the day or what, but give me a call back later. I called Dad to let him know. Love you.
It was such a blue sky, and there was such a dead silence that day. There was this real focus on getting your family together and trying to get information. Our house became a refuge for people in our community because they didn't know where to go. I said, our home is your home. And so we had thousands of people come to our house in the weeks after. I never really thought at that point that I would be creating a nonprofit organization.
I started playing basketball again, just for the physical outlet of it. But I just didn't really want to be present in society at the time. I didn't want sympathy. I didn't want help. I just went to this place where I didn't want anybody to do anything for me. That was hell. It's a dark place to be in, and coaching was my escape from all that.
Protect the ball. You see somebody coming at you, get that hand up. That's it.
Tree is symbol of life, symbol of continuation, symbol of growth. I got a couple of Russian families together. We said, let's meet. We decided to make an area visited by people who live in that neighborhood. We decided to plant a tree, and then we built a memorial.
It wasn't just about making sure that Alger as a business remained running. It was about rebuilding Alger as I knew it and loved it. I mean, this is a people business, and we lost the people who were not only the ones doing it, but literally the name on the door. I never really considered anything but rebuilding the company in honor of them. There's no better reason, really, to do it. We're going to rebuild the company in the same spirit and in honor of the lost colleagues. And it would be, you know, our success, our having a future would be the best memorial to them that a business could offer.
I would say I'm 75% done with the read-throughs to end markets, but probably half done with the actual reports.
Incremental margins? Are they going in a particular direction?
No, they're kind of flattish.
Voices of September 11th's been shaped by my background as a clinical social worker, as a mother who lost a son on 9/11. And it just evolved as we became a resource for the families. We established a website. We started distributing information. We send out a weekly newsletter. We provide case management services. We launched the 9/11 Living Memorial Project because we thought it was really important for these families to commemorate the life that was lost. I'll tell you, you are some friend to get involved like this, and you've done just an unbelievable job in putting things together.
Thank you. We're very lucky to have had her in our life.
It sounded like she was really an incredible part of your family. They bring a box of photographs and newspaper articles and books and personal keepsakes, things that were returned to them from Ground Zero. I realized I needed to be involved, and so I had to move forward. Somehow the passion for what I'm doing overcame the grief that I was suffering. And 9/11 was a turning point in my life.
Для того, чтобы туда попасть, они могут попасть только с 12 сентября и дальше. I have spoken with people in my group that told me when they're with us, they feel they can talk about anything. That experience is so engraved in us, in our hearts, that it overcome the rest of the experiences we have. Whatever pain you have, you can pour it, and people will understand who sit nearby. You're not alone.
So every year I write a letter, and I struggle and hope that when anyone reads it, they realize this is not a form letter. Every year is different. They're not long, and they're not maybe poetic, but I hope they can feel that I intensely care about how they're doing. We here do try to honor this memory. So I just, would never want any of those people and their families to think that we've forgotten any one of them, that in some way we don't try to carry on here every day so that their memory goes on and in some sense their spirit continues here.
Gavin, snap your wrist more. Snap your wrist. Get that rotation.
I was able to finally focus on taking from Mike's life what I could take. So instead of mourning his death, it was more like celebrating his life. At some point through the process, you get over the pain and you just start celebrating what you had, the things that are left.
The best really is the confidence. When Americans are confident, we can accomplish anything. Confident in ourselves, in the nature of this competition, yet mutual success through competition, if you will. You know, that we are making America, and I hope, you know, in some sense the world, a better place by doing what we do. Don't doubt yourselves, don't doubt ourselves about the ability to continue to have success.
Coaching was so amazing in terms of healing power. I wanted to foster that energy in a race, so I put a team together and I called up all his friends and I was like, this is what we're doing. And they're like, that's perfect. That's exactly what Mike would have done. What makes the Run to Remember important is the fact that you're remembering who it is that you're there for. It's basically people who want to support me in supporting the race and supporting the memory of my brother. So it's kind of like carrying his torch. Keeping his name alive is what it's about.
Being among the group of people who went through this, it's a tremendous help in any tragedy, especially this one, because it's a shoulder from a person who can understand you. And in any group, of course, there are weaker people and stronger people, and when somebody can at least function and everybody else see that they say, oh, well, let's try.
I lost my son on 9/11. He should be alive today. There are a lot of families, almost 3,000 like me, that need information, resources, and support. So I'm able to, for whatever reason, move that forward, and I can't really think of any better way to spend my time.